You guys ever gone to the store, picked up a bottle, get it home, pop its top, let it breathe the appropriate amount of time, 10, 15 minutes. You give it a try and then realize I would rather give myself paper cuts than buy another bottle of this. We're going to talk about 6 bottles that make me feel that exact same way. Hit that intro. Welcome back to T-Rod Whiskey, guys. I am your host, T-Rod. We're going to talk about, we got 6 bottles that I have been supremely disappointed with that I'm not hunting them anymore. I'm not going after them. I'm not going to buy them anymore. They're not going to get replacements in the speakeasy when they're all said and done. Some of these were cheaper, so they hurt a lot less. A couple of these were pretty expensive, so they hurt a little bit more, but we're going to rip that Band-Aid off for your viewing pleasure. It is very early in the morning at the time of this recording, so I got my coffee all squared away, but I guess we'll start the list with the cheapest one, right? And this should come to no surprise to a lot of people, but I went on some hype. The George Dickel 8-year bourbon whiskey. I have tried this a couple of different times. I've had multiple people try it with me. Obviously, the bottle itself is a little bit better than halfway gone. Is this horrible whiskey? No. I'm not going to tell you that it's absolutely horrible rot gut whiskey. But an 8-year age statement with the Wild Turkey 8-year right around the corner, I don't see myself buying another bottle of this once this one is gone. It's fine. I would rather sip this than Fireball or Old Number 7, but I'm not going to go looking for another bottle of this stuff. At 90 proof, it drinks okay. I had high hopes because it was a bourbon. It wasn't a Tennessee whiskey. I don't know what kind of mellowing or filtration or whatever they might have done on this, but it says charcoal filtered. Yeah, and chill filtered. I just, not for me. No, thank you. The next one, this one I bought into some internet hype. This is the Old Emmer cask strength wheated bourbon. This is a Spirits Direct offering from Total Wine. Yes, guys, I know I should have known better than to listen to anything coming out of Total Wine that wasn't a main label or a main brand. People online were saying that this was a direct comparison to a Pappy Van Winkle, but for poor people like myself. So I said, okay, for $65, $70, I will give this a try. It's a cask strength wheat whiskey. I like wheated whiskeys. We gave it a go. It's about a third of the way gone, maybe not even that, maybe a quarter of the way gone. I know the bourbon junkies have looked at this. It's just not good. It's not. And for good reason, I now exercise an extreme amount of caution with Spirits Direct products at Total Wine. I do my homework a lot more because I have been burned a couple of times by them by not doing my homework and buying into some hype or some cool packaging. The Old Emmer cask strength. I've never had the regular Old Emmer. If I see their double oak or double toasted or whatever, I might have to give that one a try because I've been looking for it for like a year and a half. But yeah, the Old Emmer cask strength, we're passing on it. Next one, Jephthah Creed, their rye bourbon mash bill bottled in bond. This has got to be one of the most disappointing purchases I've ever made because I've heard some people online say really, really good things about Jephthah Creed. Their packaging is absolutely gorgeous. This bottle is fan-frickin-tastic. It is beautiful. It is an amazing conversation piece. They have the Gaelic knots on the back and on the front. They have whatever the embossing in the glass is, their label. They're very transparent. Aged at least 4 years, 50%. They tell you what kind of mash bill it is, 100 proof. Everything about this says that it should be at least halfway decent. It's made with Bloody Butcher corn. That should have been my first sign that I wouldn't like it because I don't tend to like Bloody Butcher corn bourbons, but this was given to me as a gift, and I hate it. I do. Courtney has told me that if I ever give this to her again, I'll be single. This has a very strong Sharpie marker note to it that I just can't get past, and there's not any redeeming qualities for me in this bottle. It's been sitting open like this for almost a year now, and we haven't gone back to it. So maybe I will revisit it and see if it's gotten any better with the oxygen. I did stop by Jep the Creed. Some of their other stuff's a little bit better, but this one was just, I won't be buying it again. I know it was given to me, but I won't be hunting another bottle. Now on to some more significant ones. Okay. Woodford Reserve batch proofs. For the money, these things have not been very good. This is 123.6 proof. This is the old bottle. I have not bought any of the new bottles because, as you can tell, this one, not great. My biggest knock with Woodford is that everything is 90 proof. So when I saw batch proof, I said, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And for the $150 I spent, I have been very whelmed, I guess is the nice way to say that. I've been very whelmed with their offerings. I've also tried like the 5 stouted mash or the chocolate mash. There's been 2 or 3 other ones I've tried, and none of them have been particularly good. For the price tag, just because it's 123 proof, I would rather go get an Elijah Craig barrel proof or even a Benchmark full proof off the shelf for significantly less money and what I think is going to be a better experience. If I find a batch that is supposed to be really good, or I tried at a bar that I really like, then okay, I'm not above opening my wallet for a bottle that I think we're really going to like. But for the time being, this is just, it's not worth it. Not for me, not anymore. Next up, and this is when I really got burned bad. Total Wine, Chestnut Farms. What is this? The bottled in bond. Yeah. So now anything sourced from Barton that isn't $17.92 and costs more than like 40 or 50 bucks, I will just be leaving on the shelf. I'm ashamed to admit that I paid $130 for this thing. It has absolutely beautiful packaging. It's got the little magnetic lid on it. The bottle, it looks fantastic. It really does. I want to like this whiskey so badly, but it's just so meh. I can go spend $40 on a bottle of 1792 bottled in bond, and I'm going to love it significantly more than this. I'll spend 50 or 60 on a 1792 bottled in bond pick that will blow the doors off of this. I can get 2 to 3 of those for the price that I spent on this thing. Yeah, cool box, cool design. Everything about it says, look at me, buy me, everything that you want in the marketing, the hype, whatever. But to say that this is, I actually did have a fun story about this one. I was at a Total Wine recently, and a lady was looking for a bottle to take to a party, and the salesman goes up and he grabs one of these off of the shelf, and he says, "Ma'am, this is probably the best whiskey that we have in this store, hands down." So they go back and forth a little bit longer. I'm meandering the aisle, and then he walks away. So I walk up to the lady, and I'm like, "Ma'am, I know that you don't know me, and I overheard your conversation with the sales rep. Please don't buy this bottle. I have it at home. It's not very good." I actually handed her a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. I'm like, for the proof, you're going to get a much better experience for about half the price. Like, I don't even think that's the best bottle on that particular shelf. So then her husband comes up and she's like, "Oh, honey, this guy says that this is bad." The guy looks at me, rolls his eyes, grabs this package out of her hand, and then they go to the register and drop 130 bills on probably a $45 bottle of whiskey. So I tried to be a decent person. My pipe dream is to pull the Ron Swanson on a Total Wine Associate. Like, I know more than you. But then I wouldn't be able to go back to that Total Wine for a while. And some of those guys are really nice. I know that they just have a job to do. But some of them are really pushy, and they're just trying to shill for Total Wine. And I don't like that. My last bottle, and this one hurts me to say because I have been a fan of this label for a good long time. I collect their older bottlings because I really, really like the older expressions. I like everything that has come out of this distillery in the last 10, 15 years. I buy up their older base offerings because the blend was different. This shouldn't come as any surprise to anybody who's aware of what's going on, but Midwinter Night's Dram. So right now, the oldest act I have is, I think, 9. I don't think I have any more 8. I think 9 I have 2 of. I have a 10, which is barely touched. 11 was a step forward from 10, but not great. At $150 a bottle, guys, what are we doing here? This is not that good for $150. I would rather go buy a High West single barrel pick that is finished in port barrels for, I don't know, $75, $80. For $100, you can get this guy. And this is the Evernorth Spirits Arctic Spirit. And this is it is a blend of 6 and 8 year Sagamore and MGP rye finished in tawny and ruby port barrels. And this absolutely blows the door off of this bottle. Yes, this was distillery only because they're a much smaller operation, but it was also, I don't know, 40% less than this bottle. And this drinks so much better. I know there's only a little bit gone. That's because I've only popped it and drank from it once. This bottle is like a week old. Sue me. But the Midwinter Night's Drams, I want the new ones to be so much better than I'm sure they will be. And these store owners, I've had an opportunity to buy Act 12 this week, actually. But every store owner that I've come to in the past week, they want $250 or $300 for this. Guys, do not pay. If you're going to buy this, cool. Do not pay more than SRP. These are $150 bottles. I believe that it should be more like an $85 to $100 bottle, given I think these blends are like 6 years old now. Like, it's not very old whiskey and it's finished. Don't pay more than retail for these. Back in the day, there was like 15, 18,000 cases of these produced. Last year, there was like 85,000 cases of Midwinter Night's Dram. So a metric ton of this stuff hitting the market. Prices are going down. Production is going up. Distribution is increasing. Do not pay more than $150 for this if you're going to buy it. I feel icky saying I'm not going to buy this year's offering because I really, really love High West and a lot of their products. But since Constellation took them over, things have just been kind of on a slow tick on the downhill. But yeah, guys, those are 6 bottles that I am no longer hunting for, no longer purchasing. Let me know what you guys think of the list. Please drop me a subscribe, guys. I'd love to get a Patreon going, but I need a few more subscribers. I need a little bit more traction. If you guys have any ideas for videos, please let me know. If you guys have criticisms, let me know. I am working on getting some lighting and some better video equipment going. It's just a process. My editing skills are horrible, but we're working on it. And I appreciate you guys coming on this journey with us. But until next time, cheers.